This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
WeUseCoins.com. I have an idea. Well, actually, it's Ron Paul's idea, but I think he might have forgotten about it. But I heard him say it, and I haven't forgotten. It was early 2007, the day of the first Ron Paul for President demonstration, I think. It was also the day that Ron Paul gave his first speech to Free Staters in New Hampshire. And one of the things he said in this speech was that if his 2008 presidential campaign didn't go well, or maybe even if it did, he might just move to New Hampshire and run for statewide office here. We didn't ask him this. This wasn't any. It came straight from the horse's mouth.
Thank you. Give him the space.
Are you excited?
Good morning. Certainly. Always.
Well, for the last 5 years, his what he's been doing has worked so well that if it works, don't fix it. But now Paul is sort of moving on from his congressional position, and the road looks kind of wide open after we get past 2012. Ron Paul has amassed a great deal of people power, and if it's deployed a little bit carefully, Ron Paul has the ability to create liberty in the U.S. again. Well, carefully might not be the right word. Maybe something audacious is in order. But the point I'm trying to make is he needs to do something that is effective and efficient. There is one thing Ron Paul can do that is pretty much guaranteed to deliver liberty in at least one part of the United States, and that would be to move here. If he did that, it would be sort of the flashpoint moment that puts us Free Staters over the top. Puts New Hampshire liberty over the top and makes sure there's probably no going back. So how exactly would it play out? Imagine it's December 1st, 2012. The media has almost completely run out of things to cover related to the presidential election. So that's the day Ron Paul makes his announcement. He's moving to New Hampshire. Let's say he sets a date of March 1st, 2013. But just the announcement itself would have an electrical effect. If I were the doctor, I would call a news conference, set it in Houston, at a point roughly equidistant from the 3 major TV stations, or 4. I'd stand in front of a poster board of some kind that has a picture of New Hampshire, like a map, or a freestateproject.org URL. Or I guess you could have the old man on the mountain in the background, which could get people talking about how he's the old man on the mountain. Or not, I don't know. Point is, there should be something visual. He could bring his first box to pack and all the stuff that's going to go in it, pack it right there after the news conference. Or he could do this in Washington, D.C., this kind of thing. News conference could maybe just be just as important if he did it there. Come March 1st, he could invite the media to his moving party, his packing, whatever. Someone should film the convoy. It should be well documented. And his arrival in New Hampshire should be a huge event. The publicity that this would force the press to throw in his direction and our direction would be potentially sea-changing. His mere presence in New Hampshire later on over the long haul would have the same kind of effect that Free Talk Live's presence did.
That opportunity. What were some of the things that you were talking about?
I don't think there's any event in the last 10 years that has ever brought more Free Staters to New Hampshire than Free Talk Live's decision to locate here. Well, Ron Paul has probably 10 times the pull of Free Talk Live, and so the effect could be probably 10 times as much. it also would tend to nudge Ron Paul more towards talking about New Hampshire. In other words, he'd be talking about something that is well within his power to change. He wouldn't be banging his head up against a brick wall with every broadcast that he makes, once a week. With every bill, with every idea. Here, regardless of whether he were running for office, his ideas would have a lot of pull. He could, for instance, become the new head of the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance or the Republican Liberty Caucus, giving either of those two fairly powerful organizations an almost unstoppable quality.
1999.
I would guess that over the following 2 years, hundreds of people would move to the state because of his actions. They'd move here to become liberty activists. This is all, I think, a guaranteed third base hit for Ron Paul. It's time for him to quit swinging for the home run and take this third base hit.
Bitcoins, Bitcoins. I hate everyone who joins for gaining its additional anonymousness, engaging in unregulated busyness. WeUseCoins.com is one place where this wicked people have this wicked fun. I think my head is about to explode. Stamp them out before another single person go to WeUseCoins.com.